Okay, so tip number 2 for our conferring series is to keep track. So this is a really simple one. However, it sometimes takes a little bit of time to decide how exactly you're going to keep track. So this is not necessarily note taking. This is just trying to keep track of who you are conferring with each day, who you have already conferred with that week, to help you know where you're going when you start your conferring time. So there's so many different ways you could do it. One way, without recording anything, could be that if everyone's sitting at a table or in certain rows or what have you, that you choose the pattern that you're going to go in throughout the week. So if everyone's sitting at a table, let's say you always do like the right side, and on a Monday you go around to everybody on that right side, or everybody at the front row, or everybody at the back row, or what have you. So you could have a pattern, and that way you know what you've done. Sorry, that was my dog. And if you happen to skip a day, as long as you make sure you remember what you did, you'll know where to continue on. But if you want to make sure you have something, it's just something written down so that it could be random, whatever you feel like you need to do that day, you could go for digital or hard copy. You could even do both if you want. So you could check some things off on a hard copy and then eventually put it back. So you might just have an Excel sheet or a table that you made up on Word, have all the students' names, and you just put a little check mark every time you go to them. Check, 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 check. That way, if it's random, you either write when you're doing it, you can have a list in hand and check them off as you go, or at the end of the writing time, you've only seen 4 or 5 kids, you can easily remember who it was, check it off, and then you'll be able to look at that quickly the next time that you confer, so you can see who you've already done that week and who you still might need to get to. I would shoot for 1 time a week the first time you begin this. Also, digitally, you could do it with the same 2 things that I mentioned, but if you have a grading system, some teachers I know in on-course would set up a category or an assignment, and then they would just check it off that way. But that might be something you use more when you start to actually take notes about the conferences. So I kind of mentioned it already, but I think one of the things that people have to decide sometimes too is whether or not they want to mark things off as they go, and eventually might be note taking as they go, or if they want to do it at the end of the session or even like at the end of the day. So that is up to you as well. But making sure you keep some kind of track of who you're conferring with and when will help you to just get started a lot faster and zone in on who you need to see each day. It would really help a lot, and it prepares you a little bit for when you start to do the last tip of our series. All right, thanks a lot, guys.